Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live show on the channel. And in today's video, we've got lots and lots to talk about. Actually, if I'd show you my notes, I've literally got like 1,000 things to talk about in today's video. But most importantly, a massive updates on Ten Hag. Let's just say flight tracking is back. Flight tracking is back right now. And you know what happens when there's flight tracking? It's because we're all going mental. I mean, if you look at my notes, I've got a lot of quotes here, as you can see. So we've got a lot to talk about. But what we're going to be talking about is we've got DYBALA. We've got a bit of news on DYBALA, which we'll save towards the end of the show because no one gives a fuck about DYBALA. Let's be honest. TCHOUMENI flirting with Man United. If you go back through TCHOUMENI's old tweets, he's a Man United fan, and we all want TCHOUMENI, or Chouameni, however you say his name. We've got Sky Sports contradicting what Fabrizio Romano said and basically coming out and saying that that Ralf Rangnick's not going to have a say, but Fabrizio Romano saying Ralf Rangnick's going to have a say. There's some negative stories coming out from Sky Sport basically saying that we're not going to give Ralf Rangnick power in the consultancy role, which would be a massive step back. However, Fabrizio Romano said that we are going to give Ralf Rangnick power in the consultancy role, and I would personally choose to believe Fabrizio Romano over Slow Sports News. But the main story, the big stories coming out are flights being tracked from Amsterdam to Manchester. People reporting that Ten Hag is looking for houses in Manchester. Apparently, Ten Hag is house hunting in Cheshire. I think that was reported by the Daily Mail, but I will have to double check who reported that he was house hunting in Cheshire. And then pictures of someone they believe is Erik Ten Hag in Manchester. And then apparently Erik Ten Hag got on a plane to Manchester because obviously AJAX played yesterday. This would be his day off, international break. And then obviously the overriding news that Ten Hag is coming to Man United this week. And apparently Man United are going to get their manager wrapped up this week. And David Ornstein, very, very reliable journalist, T1 reliable journalist. David Ornstein, Simon Stone, Laurie Whitwell, Fabrizio Romano, Mike Verge, they're the 5 journalists I would listen to in terms of United Ten Hag news. Very, very reliable journalists. That United hopefully will have their manager confirmed in maybe by the end of March. They said David Ornstein said United would like the manager confirmed by the end of March. However, this was obviously being contradicted by Sky Sports. So Sky Sports have contradicted a lot of the stories from The Athletic, Fabrizio Romano and Mike Verge. However, they are more reliable than Sky Sports, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. There's reported pictures of Ten Hag in Manchester. I don't think it's Ten Hag. I've seen it on Twitter. I don't think it is actually Ten Hag. But the hype is coming back. People are tracking flights from Manchester to Amsterdam. There's reports of house hunting. There's reports of this big phone call going on. There's reports of Ten Hag in Manchester. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't believe it's Ten Hag in that picture. I just think if it was Ten Hag in that picture, it would have just blew up on Twitter by now. I just don't think, I don't think United could keep Ten Hag going to Manchester quiet. Although I know the timing of it is, it's very likely that Manchester United will find their next manager in this international break. It's very, very likely that the next manager will come in the international break and we'll sort it out. And a report came out last night that after the AJAX Feyenoord game that Ten Hag had to tell his players he was leaving. And the situation is when you're linked to Manchester United, you're going to get press stories on you, pressure on you. And, if you're at Ajax and you're people at Ajax, your players at Ajax, you're the squad at Ajax, you're going to hear rumours about Ten Hag going to United. And apparently Ten Hag had told the Ajax squad and the people at Ajax that him and his assistant won't be at Ajax next season. We do know from reliable journalist Mike Verge that, Ten Hag is very likely to leave Ajax, and Ajax will let Ten Hag leave if he finds that job that he wants, and so will his assistant coach leave. And we do know that Ten Hag did not have a say in Huntelaar being appointed at Ajax, where he normally has a say in pretty much everything that happens at Ajax. And we also know with the Mark Overmars situation going on, Ten Hag would leave Ajax because Overmars and Ten Hag had a very, very good relationship as well. So indications on Ten Hag to United are very, very good. Would it be a classic United to get Pochettino? Yes. But do I believe we're going to get Ten Hag? Yes. Do I believe that's Ten Hag in the photos? No. Do I believe Ten Hag's gone to Manchester? Like some people on Twitter and TikTok are saying, I don't believe Ten Hag's gone to Manchester. Do I believe Ten Hag's interested in Manchester United? Yes. I actually know that Ten Hag is interested in Manchester United. I actually know that. And do I believe that Ten Hag's probably had a look at houses in Manchester? Yeah, probably. He probably thinks United's a possible move. He's probably looked at Cheshire. But as it stands, it's still Poch, it's still Ten Hag, it's still United have got to choose one of them. United have got to choose if they want Poch or they won't get Ten Hag. Eugene says, until Ten Hag or anybody else for that matter of fact is officially announced by the club, I won't believe rumour mill. And you know what, Eugene, I'm with you. I'm here reporting Ten Hag rumour mill. I'm here reporting the Ten Hag rumours, and I've got 1,000 rumours to report. But it is Manchester United. Until we see that man at Old Trafford officially confirmed by the club on social media, you can't believe anything, because last summer, so not the summer that's just gone, summer 2020, I fully believed we'd sign Jadon Sancho. Summer 2020, when we agreed personal terms with Jadon Sancho, I fully believed that we signed Jadon Sancho when we didn't. And this is the situation with Ten Hag. It's very, very close, but we could just swoop in and get Poch. Like, we didn't get Sancho that summer. And we all, I think, let's be honest, we all thought we were getting Sancho that summer, that we didn't get Sancho. Like, he agreed personal terms. So, which is absolutely mad. And what do you think of the DYBALA rumours, says Prav? I will get into the DYBALA rumours in just a second. And you know, a lot of people saying, would it be classic Manchester United to avoid Ten Hag, go for Poch, and then go spend the money on DYBALA, because Poch did want DYBALA at Spurs, remember? Would be. Now, I also want to talk about something that I spoke about in yesterday's video, and that is Paul Mitchell, who is the AS Monaco director of football, has been linked to Manchester United. He's leading AS Monaco. We know he's best friends with Ralf Rangnick. We know he worked with Ralf Rangnick at RB Leipzig. We know he's been spotted in Manchester. Paul Mitchell, if he went to Manchester United as director of football, would be very, very good. However, Man United are too thick to appoint someone good. Like, if United were a smart club, we'd be getting Paul Mitchell, we'd be getting Rangnick, we'd be getting Van der Sar, we'd be getting Ten Hag, and that'd all be done now, and they'd be working as a little quadruple. United aren't smart. But what is funny about Paul Mitchell being linked to United, this sporting director Paul Mitchell, is Paul Mitchell used to work at Tottenham Hotspur with Pochettino, and Paul Mitchell and Pochettino reportedly had a big fallout and they don't get on. So if we do get Paul Mitchell, Ten Hag. Now, let me get into the Ten Hag story. Let me get into all of that. So bish, bash, bosh, guys, do smash that like button. But we obviously know from Fabrizio Romano a couple of days ago that Ralf Rangnick is going to have a big say in who the next manager is. Romano reported that Ralf Rangnick and people who at Manchester United are pushing for Ten Hag, and apparently, you know, the certain people that want Pochettino used to have quite a big say at Manchester United. However, now the people that want Ten Hag are going to have a bigger say than the people that want Pochettino, and we know that Ralf Rangnick wants Ten Hag, and that was sort of reported by Fabrizio Romano that Ralf Rangnick was going to have a massive say in who the next manager is, and Ralf Rangnick had chosen Ten Hag, basically, and all of that. However, Sky Sports News or Slow Sports News, however you want to call it, did say that Manchester United want a new manager ahead of next season, but suggestions that a pre-agreement could be struck by the end of the month, as one employee put it, overly optimistic. So we had The Athletic come out, very, very reliable source the other day, saying the next manager could be decided by the end of the month. We've had reports saying that Man United are going to announce their next manager this week. A lot of people believe that, you know, we could know our next manager in the next week, and this is why people are tracking flights from AJAX to Manchester, or Amsterdam to Manchester. This is why a lot of people believe Ten Hag is on his way to Manchester United. A lot of flight tracking from the Amsterdam to Manchester. That's why a lot of people think Ten Hag's coming to United, because obviously they report that Man United are going to choose the manager this week. However, Sky Sports say that that is unlikely to be the case, and they described it as optimistic. Obviously, Romano said that Rangnick will choose the next manager. However, Sky Sports also contradicted not just what David Ornstein said, but Sky Sports have contradicted what Ralf Rangnick said. And I'm going to get into this point. This is really interesting. Sky Sports said there's an appreciation that Ralf Rangnick has not offered counter leaks opting for honest media commitments. That's what they said about Ralf Rangnick. That's not really important. But what was important, said by Sky Sports regarding Ralf Rangnick, was that Manchester United have not internally outlined the nature of Ralf Rangnick's consultancy role, but it's not advised to be very hands-on. And then you've got Romano saying that Rangnick will stay on as a consultant and be a key part in decisions for Manchester United. However, Sky Sports are saying that Ralf Rangnick's position is unclear at Manchester United, and that is worrying. That is worrying. Now, what I will say is, just before Manchester United signed Jadon Sancho, and just before Manchester United signed Rafael Varane in the summer, what came out from Sky Sports? Reports saying it's unlikely. Okay, now what's been coming out the last week? Ten Hag news. And very, very reliable journalists reporting Ten Hag news. You've got VERGE, a very, very reliable journalist from the Netherlands, reporting Ten Hag to United being likely. You've got David Ornstein hot on the Ten Hag to United news and talking about United choosing the manager this week. And you've got Fabrizio Romano talking about Ten Hag to Manchester United news. You've got three of the best journalists out there in terms of AJAX and Manchester United news reporting heavily on Ten Hag to Manchester United, and Man United wanting to choose their manager in the next week. Now, this week, you've then got English source, Sky Sports News, saying Ralf Rangnick's not really going to have a say. We don't know what Ralf Rangnick's role is. United aren't close in choosing the next manager. And Sky Sports have completely contradicted what they said. Now, Sky Sports did this with Varane, and Sky Sports did this with Sancho. We had Ornstein, we had Romano, we even had Christian Falk, who's a hit and miss journalist, saying that Sancho was close. The next day, Sky Sports say, oh, there's some problems with Sancho, blah, 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 blah. A couple of days after Sky Sports said that Sancho wasn't close, we signed Sancho. A couple of days after Sky Sports said that Varane wasn't that close, we signed Varane. So now Sky Sports are saying that our next manager ain't close, which makes me think our next manager's bloody close, because I do like Sky Sports. But sometimes they do get fooled by United's trickery. And United have this thing where if we're close to getting Ten Hag, we want to make it a surprise for social media clicks. Now, this is generally what United do. Well, I believe we do. Is when we're about to sign a player, we release a story from like the Sky Sports or the Manchester Evening News saying we're not going to get that player. So we all know we're getting Jadon Sancho, but United think if we release some stories that we're not getting Jadon Sancho just before we get Jadon Sancho, when they announce Jadon Sancho, it will be bigger, it'll be more surprise, it will get more clicks. Do you know what I mean? You will get more of a hype to it. Now, I think United, just before we appoint the new manager, will leak some stories that when the new manager, they don't know who it is, to try and catch us by surprise, because that is how United play games. But, you know, I don't believe everything that's said by Sky Sports. As I've said, if you've got Romano saying that Ralf Rangnick will stay on as a consultant at Manchester United, if you've got David Ornstein saying United are quite close to their next manager and it could be decided by the end of the March, and then you've got Sky Sports saying the complete opposite, I will believe Romano and David Ornstein over Sky Sports because they are better sources of information. They've proven to be better sources of information over time. Personally, myself, so I'm not too worried that Sky Sports has said that sources has intimated that Ralf Rangnick's role will probably be centered around sharing insight on innovation, scouting, and linking the club with bright football minds rather than fundamentally altering their setup. Now, I don't like how Sky Sports has said that apparently Ralf Rangnick's going to have no impact on altering the Manchester United setup, and Ralf Rangnick's going to have no impact on choosing managers. Apparently, according to Sky Sports, Ralf Rangnick's just going to be involved in the scouting. Hopefully that is not the case, because Romano said that Ralf Rangnick will be heavily involved. And I do think, before I get into the other bit of Ten Hag news, and before I get into the Rashford leaving news, and before I get into the main news, I do think if Manchester United do not give Ten Hag freedom to alter their setup, to alter the way the board is set up, United are destined to not win a trophy for the next 10 years. The reason Manchester United, and I will say this now and I'll say this again, the reason Manchester United is so far behind all the other clubs, the pure reason we're so far behind everybody else in football is literally because we are run by imbeciles. We have no structure in our board. We don't let the manager make decisions. We don't have a proper director of football. We don't have a proper sporting director. Darren Fletcher, Ralf Rangnick can't even say what Darren Fletcher does, but Darren Fletcher's the technical director. You know, Ralf Rangnick was asked, what's Darren Fletcher's role? And he said he's not really sure. Darren Fletcher is meant to be the technical director. Fuck knows what he does. Instead of employing people like Darren Fletcher, and I like Darren Fletcher, but he's not good enough for his job. Instead of employing Darren Fletcher, get Paul Mitchell in, get Van der Sar in, get Ten Hag in, get Ralf Rangnick in, and let's have a quadruple of Van der Sar, Ten Hag, Paul Mitchell, and Ralf Rangnick working together at Manchester United. I don't want to see Richard Arnold, the banker, who knows nothing about football and is another Woodward, Darren Fletcher because he's a club legend, and bloody Erik Ten Hag making decisions. I want to see footballing bright minds making decisions and backing the manager. And if it's true that we're not going to let Ralf Rangnick change the structure of this club, why are we giving him the consultancy role? United won't be anywhere near Liverpool and City until we change the structure of the board, change the structure of the club. And to change the structure of the board and to change the structure of the club, you need to get a professional in like Paul Mitchell or maybe Van der Sar in. You need to let Ralf Rangnick change the structure of the club and work closely with the manager and have a good say in who the next manager is and have a good say in who we get in. And most importantly, what the board need to do is give the manager freedom of who comes in and who comes out. Because I know Ralf Rangnick isn't permanent manager, and I know Ralf Rangnick wasn't meant to be at Manchester United permanently permanently. But Ralf Rangnick said to the board he wants Lingard to go. And the board said, nah, you can't get rid of Lingard. Ralf Rangnick said to the board he wants Julian Alvarez. He's 17 million. He's a baller. We need a young striker. Man United have let Julian Alvarez go to Manchester City for £17 million. And this summer, we're going to be desperate to get a young striker in when we just let one go to Manchester City because we didn't want to spend a little bit more money in Jan, even though top four was not on our sights in Jan. You never know. If we'd signed Julian Alvarez and we'd signed Hedera in Jan, like Ralf Rangnick was pushing for, United might be in fourth right now and might not be 7 points potentially behind Arsenal. But the Glazers didn't sign anyone in January. They didn't sell who Ralf Rangnick wanted to sell. And the Glazers tell the manager, you've got to start Maguire. He's 80 million. We don't want to lose face. Keep Maguire captain. No wonder this club is muddied, because the problem is we can get Ten Hag in. And there's a report that United are worried that Ten Hag won't be able to deal with the structure of the club. And I will get into that report. We need to get Ten Hag in, guys. But we need to let Ten Hag buy and sell who he wants. If Ten Hag wants TCHOUMENI, but Kamara's cheaper, you still get TCHOUMENI because that's who Ten Hag wants. If Ten Hag wants to sell Maguire, but we're only going to get 20 million from Maguire, so it's going to make us look like mugs, you let him sell Maguire for 20 million. Because if Ten Hag comes in and he wants quick centre-backs and he says, I don't want Maguire, but you don't let Ten Hag sell Maguire, you end up with Harry Maguire on the bench. When you end up with a player like Harry Maguire on the bench, he's going to be unhappy he's not playing. Leaks are going to be coming out. It's going to cause dressing room unrest, and it's going to be League FC. We need to make sure that any player the manager doesn't want, we sell, regardless of what we sell. We get rid of, regardless of what, okay? And even if they're on silly wages, we try our best to sell. Any player that Ten Hag does not want at Manchester United, we need to get rid of. Any player that Ten Hag does want, we bring in, and we do that for 3, 4, 5 consistent transfer windows. And we bring in because Ten Hag wants them, Rangnick wants them, whoever our sporting directors wants them. We don't bring them in because it's a player Richard Arnold wants, because Richard Arnold knows sod all about football. Ed Woodward allowed us to spend 150 million on Dan James, Harry Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka. None of them are probably good enough for Manchester United. That's 150 million pounds. You know, last summer was a good transfer window. Varane's a good signing. Sancho's a good signing. I still think Ronaldo was a good signing. Yes, he doesn't solve our problems, but I don't think Ronaldo is the root of our problems. But United need to sort their problems out. Prav says that Maguire needs to be stripped at captaincy. And Elizabeth says as long as Maguire plays at United, we will win nothing. And this is the thing. United won't sell Maguire. Southgate won't drop Maguire. Rangnick won't drop Maguire. Ollie won't drop Maguire. United won't sell Maguire. Until we got over this Maguire love affair, I don't think we're going to be a top team. And this okay, I would say it's no disrespect to Harry Maguire. I don't think Harry Maguire is a bad centre-back. But Harry Maguire is not the type of centre-back you want if you want to be a top team. If you look at the way Liverpool play, if you look at the way City play, and you look at the way that Ten Hag would play if he comes to Manchester United, Maguire doesn't suit that way. Maguire doesn't suit, you know, how you play football at the top level, if you want my honest opinion. Daniel says he reckons we'll get Ten Hag and Bruno new captain next season. I would allow Bruno Fernandes to be captain. I know Bruno's having an off season. I know a lot of fans don't like Bruno, but I think Bruno is more captain than Maguire. Maguire is playing like a false 5, says Imo, and you got a good point there. And Tafa Gatchagos says, what do you think who'd be Lacazette's perfect replacement, Depay or Luke de Goat Barca? I think Depay, but I don't think Lacazette's been too bad at Arsenal as well. Guys, first of all, quickly, before I get into the next story, before I get into some more Ten Hag news, I've got some really interesting things to get up on my screen. There's a flight, obviously there's been some flight tracking from Amsterdam to Manchester. There's reports that Ten Hag's in Manchester. There's reports that Ten Hag is house hunting. There's a leaked phone call apparently of Ten Hag to United. Before I get into any of that, please do smash that like button if you haven't already. Can we go for 250 likes by the end of the live stream? We've got 250 people watching. I'd like to get 250 likes. So if you've not smashed that like button, please do. And of course, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. I report on all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more. So if you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe. The minute we find out who our next manager is officially, I'll be live. It's all rumours about Ten Hag. It's all rumours about Poch. But the minute we know who that next manager is going to be, I'll be live. Any updates on Ten Hag, I'll be live. Any updates on summer signings, I'll be live. And I will be live every evening in the summer. So do make sure you subscribe for that content. Paul says that Maguire and Wan-Bissaka should be sold. And personally, I agree. But I want to get into the Ten Hag news because I've blabbered for 19 minutes and I've not really got into the Ten Hag news. But first story that came out today was from the Daily Mail, but it was from Simon Jones, who I think is a good journalist from the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail and the Mirror, you've got to be a little bit like, they've got some good journalists, but they also write some absolute crap. But I think this is one of the better journalists from the Mail. They said that Erik ten Hag is ready to leave Ajax regardless at the end of the season with assistant Mitchell van der Graag. So it's been reported that not only Ten Hag will leave Ajax, but he will bring his assistant with him, which is brilliant because United don't just need a new manager. We need a full new set of coaches. We need a full new set of coaches. And I want to link that to Barcelona, Xavi, the Barcelona coaches in a second, where, you know, the coaches are just important as a manager. And, you know, Barca's rebuild's gone a lot quicker than us. We will talk about that later in the show. But it has been reported from the Mail that Ten Hag and his assistant will leave Ajax at the end of the season. Will leave Ajax. We know that, according to Mike VERGE, very, very good journalist from the Netherlands, that Ajax will not get in the way of Ten Hag going to United. They'll let him go. And we do know right now it would be cheaper for United to get Ten Hag than it would to get Pochettino. Simon Jones from the Mail also said that Erik Ten Hag is the leading contender for the Manchester United manager position and is ready to leave Ajax. It's been confirmed again by another journalist that Erik Ten Hag is the leading contender. We know it's between Ten Hag and Poch, but more and more journalists are coming out saying that Ten Hag is the leading contender, and some good journalists are coming out saying that Ten Hag is leading the race. However, Poch is not out of the race. That's sort of what was being said. And Simon Jones also said that Ten Hag is waiting for a call and Ajax will respect any agreement or decision he makes now or at the end of the season. Now, this is the really big thing that's come out today. Ajax will accept any agreement Ten Hag makes, and Ten Hag is actually waiting for a call, and Ajax will fully go and let Ten Hag make an agreement now or at the end of the season. You know, Ajax aren't telling Ten Hag you can't do anything to the end of the season. Ajax are like, you can make an agreement with anyone now and we'll let you go at the end of the season. And apparently Ten Hag is waiting for that phone call to Manchester United. And that's come out from Simon Jones of the Mail. And then Sky Sports News said that United are aware Ten Hag is a popular choice and the Mark Overmars scandal has made it easier to prize him from Ajax. And we know from multiple sources, I think it was Mike from the Netherlands, that, you know, because of the Overmars situation, Ten Hag will leave Ajax at the end of the season. It's confirmed Ten Hag's leaving Ajax at the end of the season. Apparently, Ten Hag's told the Ajax squad that he's leaving at the end of the season. And, you know, Manchester United is the one he wants the most. He is learning English. United wants Ten Hag. Apparently, it's coming out by more and more journalists that Ten Hag is leading Poch in the race. And then also that Ten Hag's waiting for a call and Ajax will respect that. So, guys, I mean, for me, would I be surprised if United got Pochettino? No, I wouldn't be shocked if we got Pochettino. It'd be classic United. But every single reliable indication is saying Ten Hag, Ten Hag, Ten Hag. You know, he's cheaper than Poch. He's easier to get than Poch right now. He's the fans' favourite. He's Rangnick's favourite. Whether Rangnick's allowed a decision in the next manager or not, that we'll find that out soon. Is Romano right that Rangnick's choosing the next manager, or is Sky Sports right that Rangnick is not choosing the next manager? And I would go with Romano over Sky Sports. And if Romano is right, then that indicates Rangnick. That indicates Ten Hag, because that's who Rangnick wants. We know Ten Hag's leaving as Ajax as well. So unless we get Poch and Ten Hag goes to PSG, or unless Ten Hag goes to Real Madrid, because I know they want to get rid of Ancelotti, I think we will probably look good for Ten Hag. This is the problem, is Ancelotti and Real Madrid. I think our biggest competitors would be Real Madrid, but they are about to win the league, so why would they want to get rid of Ancelotti? But they did just get embarrassed by Barcelona. I don't think Ten Hag would want to go to PSG. I don't think he wants to go to the French league. He is learning English. I think, you know, as long as United don't go for Poch, we will probably get Ten Hag, because we are the team that Ten Hag wants and we know he'll be leaving. Paul says Ten Hag will make Antony his first signing from Ajax, and that's a report that came out as well, that not only are United going for Ten Hag, but if Ten Hag came to Manchester United, he'd like to bring Antony with him, as United need a right winger. That, I think, came out from the Mirror, which is it's just a very basic journalistic report to say, you know, that goes without saying. I'm sure he would like that. Gaz Elliott says that Ten Hag needs full control, and that's absolutely correct. Guys, smash that like button if you think that Ten Hag should get full control of ins and outs at Manchester United if he comes. If you agree with me that Ten Hag is the right decision, but Ten Hag's only the right decision if we allow him freedom to bring and sell who he wants, and we give him control and we back him, smash that like button, because we need to give Ten Hag control and back him as well. United should consider Nico Kovac. He was with Paul Mitchell at Monaco. Not too familiar with them, but I think we should definitely be considering Paul Mitchell. And we have been linked to Liverpool sporting director as well, or Liverpool's ex-sporting director or something. I will get into that. Sky Sports did say that Manchester United are aware that Ten Hag is a popular choice. However, there remains to be question marks over how Ten Hag would function in a completely different structure at a club of the size and stature and unrelating pressure and attention of Manchester United. Now, this is the one story that annoyed me today. Well, it's been 99% positive regarding Ten Hag to United, and the best journalists are sort of hinting it's Ten Hag over Poch. The one story that's annoyed me today is the story from Sky Sports that United are reluctant and have question marks how Ten Hag would function in the United structure. The Manchester United structure is completely different to Ajax, because when you're at Manchester United, it's about finance over football. It's not about what's best for the club, it's about what's best for the pockets. The managers don't get backed, you don't buy and sell who the managers want. The board do not work closely with the manager, whereas at Ajax, football comes before money, the board works closely with the manager. It is a completely different structure at Manchester United compared to Ajax. And the worrying thing that is coming out is that United are worried how Ten Hag would deal at the Man United structure. Well, United, why don't you let Rangnick do what he wants to do? Rangnick, it's come out that Rangnick wants to modernise this club. Rangnick wants to change the structure of this club and modernise this club. But Sky Sports are saying that United won't allow Rangnick to change the structure of this club, won't allow Rangnick to modernise this club, and won't change their structure, and they don't believe Ten Hag will suit their structure. United, if this report is true, we will fail for another 10, 15, 20 years until we change the structure of this club. If it's true that you're not going to let Rangnick change and modernise the structure of this club and bring in a director of football and work closely with the manager, we're destined to fail. If you want to get Ten Hag, brilliant. But if you want to get Ten Hag and then continue doing the shit you've been doing for the last 10 years, ignoring the manager and not working closely with the manager and not backing the manager, then Ten Hag will fail because he's not Sir Alex. No one is Sir Alex. Pep would fail. Klopp would fail. But if United really wanted to be a serious club, then we don't need to worry about how Ten Hag would deal with the structure of this club, because we should be aiming to change the structure of this club this summer so we can get in Paul Mitchell as sporting director, we can get in Ten Hag as assistant, and we can get in Rangnick, and we can have the four of them working closely together and be run like a proper modern football club. That's what we should be doing. Making up excuses saying, but would Ten Hag deal well with the structure of this club? Why don't we change the structure of this club? It's not like the structure of this club has worked for the last 10 years. It's not like the structure of, how badly we've been run worked. Why don't we change the structure of how this club is run? Because we know Ralf Rangnick is desperate to change how the structure of this club is run. So instead of ignoring Ralf Rangnick, instead of undermining Ralf Rangnick, give Ralf Rangnick that power. Let him change the structure. Let him bring in a proper director of football. Let him get rid of Darren Fletcher just because he's a club legend doesn't mean he deserves the job. Let him bring in Ten Hag. Let him bring in Ten Hag's assistant. Let him bring in Paul Mitchell. Let him bring in Van der Sar if he wants Van der Sar, and let him do his stuff. But will United let him do that? We wait to see. We gave Oli a job. I'm sure Ten Hag will be okay, says Gaz. Exactly. If Oli can survive 3 seasons, so can Ten Hag. Although Ten Hag will have a difficult job on his hands, because not only has he got to deal with a dead squad, not only has he got to deal with player egos, but he's also got to deal with our board. If Old Trafford is destroyed, where will United play? That is a good question, said Rose, and I have no idea. And did you see El Clasico yesterday, says Daniel? And yes, I did see a little bit of El Clasico. Barcelona absolutely embarrassed Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid were trying to do an impression of Manchester United. Honestly, I generally think Real Madrid were like, let's do our best Man United impression, and absolutely embarrass ourselves, honestly. But I will say, Xavi. Okay, first of all, you know how everyone's talking about Xavi and Arteta saying they're Pep's sons, blah, blah, blah. Xavi and Arteta are doing so well. Look how well they're playing. Pep made them. Erik Ten Hag also worked with Pep at Ajax. Pep also made Erik Ten Hag, so we can throw Erik Ten Hag in that, just thought I'd say. But people were talking about this Barcelona rebuild and the Xavi impacts and saying how come Barcelona were mudded a few months ago and now they're better than Man United. And people were saying, oh, look, Rangnick's not good enough. It's Rangnick's fault. First of all, it's not Rangnick's fault. It's nothing to do with Ralf Rangnick. The thing about Barcelona, and I will say this now and I will say it again and I'll keep saying it. The reason Xavi was able to come and enter Barcelona right now and do a decent job at Barcelona was because although Barcelona were muddy with Koeman, and although Barcelona didn't look good, Barcelona still had good coaches. They still had good people at their club. United have had coaches that have not let any player progress under Oli. You know, United's coaches are like, if you actually look at the background of all these Manchester United coaches, and I got them up in a video, I think a video in October or November, I went through the background of every single person that worked at United. It was like, got sacked from Sunderland, got sacked from Hull, got relegated, worked at Preston, then went to Manchester United. I mean, you work at Preston North End, then you get a job at United because you're Ollie's mate. You know, you got relegated with Cardiff with Ollie, you've now got a job at Man United. And a lot of the people who are currently on the Manchester United coaching staff, and a lot of the names we won't know because they're not, you know, too involved on match day, but they work in training, are people that got sacked with Ollie at Cardiff, are people that got relegated at Hull, people that got sacked from Sunderland for not being good enough, people that were at Preston North End and then got a job at United, people that are Middlesbrough and then got a job at United. people with no track record of working at Manchester United. I think a lot of people forget this, people with very little experience. Whereas Barcelona, they've had all these top coaches. They just had Koeman and some shit players. And then Xavi comes in, they get some decent January signings. And all of a sudden, in a couple of months, Barcelona seem to be back and playing really, really well. And that is because the structure of Barcelona, even though it is mudded, is still better than Manchester United because they didn't allow the club to rot to its core like the Glazers did. You know, Barcelona might have been mudded, but the Glazers allowed Man United to rot to its core by employing club legends and people like Darren Fletcher is not employed to do the technical director role. No club in the world other than Manchester United would be giving Darren Fletcher that technical director role. People work for that role for like 30 years and then they get it based off merit, based off being good at their job. Darren Fletcher's purely got that for being a club legend. He's no experience at the job. Ralf Rangnick doesn't even know what Darren Fletcher's meant to do in that job. He's just been given it because he's a club legend. No other club in the world would do that. They're not that incompetent. And when the structure of our club is run so bad, that's why Barcelona can rebuild a lot quicker, because they've got the right foundations in place. All they needed is a few players and a coach. Man United, we need a coach, we need a few players, but we also need a proper sporting director, a proper technical director. And yeah, we're giving Ralf Rangnick a consultancy role. That's a step in the right direction. But if we're giving Ralf Rangnick a consultancy role and we're not going to give him any power in the consultancy role, like it's been reported, if we're not going to let Ralf Rangnick change the structure of this club when in the consultancy role, there's basically no point in giving Ralf Rangnick this consultancy role. If it's true, we're not going to let him make decisions. And this is why Xavi's rebuild at Barcelona is 3 months, whereas our rebuilds take 3 years, because at least Barcelona didn't employ shit people to be coaches because they were friends with Oli, because they got sacked at Cardiff, but they're friends with Oli. And, you know, at least Barcelona didn't have shit coaches there to work with Xavi. They had good coaches. At least Barcelona had some structure to their boards. You know, they weren't the type. Barcelona have brought some shocking players, and they've had just as many flops with us, but they've got structure. They're not employing Darren Fletcher to be technical director of merit. I mean, it's like, you know, Molly May. Molly May got that job really high up at Pretty Little Thing just for going on Love Island. To get that job, you need like 30 years experience in the industry. I guarantee you, Molly May might be famous, but she's probably shit at that job right up there at Pretty Little Thing because she got it from being on Love Island. Whereas everyone else who gets it works 30 years in the industry of fashion to get it. It's the same with Darren Fletcher being technical director. You need some experience to get that job. Now he's a club legend, let's throw him in. We don't even know what he does, but we're just giving him this technical director name. We're absolute a joke of the club. We're absolutely run by idiots. I mean, Talal says we need a new squad. We need a new squad. We need a new board. We need a manager. We need a new coach. And fucking, we need some new owners. I mean, we need a bit of everything, don't we? And Steve says 12 days to the next game is going to be a long break. It is going to be a long break, but maybe we need a break. And the United players, they get a week off, a whole week off. I mean, what a joke, isn't it? What a joke. And how do we get the Glazers out of this club? That's the thing. Will the Glazers ever leave? Like, the Glazers will be stupid to leave. They're failed businessmen. They can get 50, 60 million in their pocket every year. Josh from letting Manchester United sink to the ground. I beg you, Boris, just sanction the fucking United. I don't care if we get relegated. I generally would take a year in the Championship and get the Glazers relegated. If you said to me, the Glazers will leave Manchester United, but you have to get relegated, I would take relegation to get those leeches out of our club because they are letting it sink. If we got a sanction like Chelsea did, we'd probably be celebrating because at least it meant the club was sold. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is sad. Chelsea are crying that Abramovich is gone. Even though Abramovich is funding Ukraine wars, Chelsea fans, they still love him even though he's done some shady things. You know, madness. United fans, we'd be having a party if we got fucking sanctioned because we'd be fair, well, at least our fucking owners are gone. At least our fucking owners are gone. Honestly. The only way they'll leave if they don't make money, says Gaz, and we're forever going to make money. I mean, here's the plan. Okay, if there's a clever United fan out there, they need to become government of the UK. Okay, if there's a clever United fan, they need to become government of the UK, and then they need to use their power of government of the UK to sanction the Glazers, completely mess up the Glazers for no reason. So, you know, the government probably wouldn't be allowed to do this because there'd be no logical reason for doing it. But we're going to find a logical reason to freeze all the Glazers' assets and make them sell the club. So if someone supports United and they're clever, just run for government. Doesn't matter who you're running for. We'll come together and we'll vote for you, and you can get the Glazers out, because I don't know how they're going to go. I don't know how they're going to go. The Glazers only care about their NFL team. Facts. You know what? What I don't, we pretend we're an American football team and maybe they'll start caring. Because they don't care, and it's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Glazers want to make Manchester a cricket team. I mean, apparently Glazers failed to buy a cricket team. The one thing though is, and this was a report that the Saudis were buying Man United. It was so the Glazers went to Bahrain. I think they were seen at F1. I mean, first of all, the trim the Glazers have. The Glazers trim, they have the worst haircuts in football. The Glazers' hair is just as bad as their business skills, honestly. But the Glazers were seen in like Bahrain or one of the rich oil Arab countries, and they wanted to buy a cricket team, but they failed to buy a cricket team or something like that. And there's loads of pictures around Twitter with Glazers sat with some rich Arabs saying, oh, they're selling United to the Arabs. Oh, they're selling United to the Arabs. I fucking wish they're not. Like, they're not. But it'd be nice if the Glazers were selling United to the Arabs. And it was quite nice to see pictures of Glazers with Arabs thinking, oh, maybe they're selling us secretly. But let's be real. If the Glazers are actually going to sell Man United, it'd be all over the fucking news. And I'll be sitting here with a big bottle of vodka, having a party. I tell you what, if the Glazers sell Man United, I'll get drunk on live stream. I'll literally be here with some vodka. But unfortunately, the Glazers aren't going. And as Bulega says in the chat, I don't know if that's how you say your name, we need a new board. Yes, we need new owners. We need a new board. Gaz says Avram the scarecrow. Avram the fucking twat. Honestly, he does look like a scarecrow, doesn't he? He does. And Rebuild said Glazers were probably discussing how to bomb Iran. Well, this is the thing. If they do bomb Iran, surely we can put some sanctions on them then. You know, that's what we did with Putin, Russia, Abramovich. Not that I want them to bomb Iran, because especially Iran are quite a powerful country. I wouldn't want to fuck with Iran as well, and we don't want people to die. But maybe if they were, we could put some sanctions on them. Alice, did you watch our Classico last night? Xavi exposed Ancelotti badly, and United has Ancelotti on their list as well. It is funny, Sal. I do like your comment. I did watch a bit of El Clasico. Xavi's doing a brilliant job. And it is funny, you know, United have the Sevilla manager on the list of targets, Ancelotti on the list of targets. Sevilla manager got knocked out by West Ham. Ancelotti's getting embarrassed 4-0 by their rivals. I mean, Ancelotti's perfect for Man United. To be at Man United now, you've got to concede 4+ goals to your rivals. Ancelotti's done that, hasn't he? You know, we've been embarrassed by City. We've been embarrassed by Liverpool. Man United probably saw Ancelotti get embarrassed by Real Madrid's rivals, Barcelona, and probably thought, perfect. This manager gets embarrassed as well. Got the United DNA in him. But yeah, Ancelotti's linked to us. Sevilla's manager's linked to us. Poch, who's getting embarrassed at PSG's linked to us. And AJAX manager Ten Hag is linked to us. And out of all of those that are linked to us, the only one I want is Ten Hag. I mean, that's the only one I want. As well, I've been a Man United supporter for 57 years. I'm done with the Glazers bullshit. I'm done. I am done as well. I mean, honestly, if I was at F1, I would have just pushed them in the chat. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Do not encourage that, Alice. That was a joke. But honestly, we want the Glazers gone. It would have been better if we were owned by Mike Adder. Who's Mike ADH? Am I meant to know who that is? The thing is, Kroenke runs Arsenal better than us as well. You know, like we are generally the worst run club in football. Like that is a fact. Name me a football club, a top football club, that has run worse than Manchester United. A football club that has declined, you know, because we've got a lot of money. Name me a football club that's got bad recruitment, okay, bad problems with player power, letting the facilities disintegrate, the training ground disintegrate, letting the standards disintegrate, letting the coaches disintegrate, letting the standards disintegrate. Name me a football club that is falling like Manchester United has fallen. Name me one that has run worse. And the scary thing is, if you fall in the Serie A, if you fall in La Liga, if you fall in the Bundesliga, if you fall in Liga 1, you're fine. Because you're always going to get top 4 because there's only two teams good in those leagues. The problem is if the Premier League, the Premier League is at levels ahead of every league. I don't care what you say. You know, Newcastle are going to be top 4 contenders in a few years. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea. That's 5 teams, okay, that look ahead of us in the future. Spurs will be 6 because Spurs are ahead of us right now. Aston Villa, I've got a plan. That could be 7. I know they're a bit iffy at the moment, Villa, but that could be 7 clubs. You know, West Ham are in the right direction. That could be 8. Leicester normally have a good season. That could be 9. You know, if we continue the way we're going, we could be competing for top 9, not top 4, because that's what the Premier League is like. And, you know, we've become a top 4 club that's now not getting top 4. Before we know it, we're going to be a fucking Newcastle, and hopefully, you know, we get some Saudi owners in a few years, but we're absolutely going downhill. Absolutely going downhill. Someone said Sancho out. Why would you say Sancho out? Do you mean Sancho's out of the England squad? Gareth Southgate's called up Ollie Watkins before he's called up Jadon Sancho for England. Fact of the day, I know Ollie Watkins is a striker, but Ollie Watkins getting in and Jadon Sancho not getting in. Fucking hell, Southgate. No wonder we lost the Euros final, I do think. Smash your like if you feel sorry for Jadon Sancho. Smash your like if you think it's muggy that Jadon Sancho did not get an England call-up. Because I tell you this now, England, favouritism FC, we know that. But if Marcus Rashford finds form, he'll be called up before Sancho, even though Sancho has been in form for longer. All I'm saying, because it's favouritism. And second thing is, guys, if you're watching right now, and you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go and smash that subscribe button. I'm reporting on the 10 hour rumours in today's video. But if we get any official breaking news, I'll be live. The minute we know who the next manager is, this girl is live to tell you. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, updates and content, I do daily live streams on the channel. Do make sure you subscribe, because not only will I be updating you on 10 hour news, not only will I be updating you on Pochettino news, but when there's breaking news, I go live. Doesn't matter what time of the day, once the new manager is sorted, I'll be live. So please do subscribe for that. We're on 31,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can hit 31.1k by the end of the week. So do smash that like button as well. And honestly, how bad do you think things have to get for the fans to do something about the Glazers, says Gaz? And I think if we finished below 8th, things would kick off. I think. Honestly, if someone said to me, United get relegated for a season, I'm all for it. If it gets them Glazers out, I'm all for it. Do I want to be watching United in the Championship? No. Do I think the Championship's a good league? Yes. Would I worry that United wouldn't get promoted from the Championship? Yes. Honestly, the thing about United is we're so shit against small teams. I could see us getting relegated to the Championship. Glazers go. I think it's all right. Then we can't get promoted again. That's the type of team we are, aren't we? Harry preparing for his goal celebration for England. If Harry Maguire scores for England against, who are England playing, like Romania or something? Who the fuck are England? I'm going to Google that. Who the fuck are England playing? No, I don't care about that. I want to know who England are playing, Google. England are playing Switzerland, Ivory Coast. Is that it? Who gives a fuck about these games? If Harry Maguire scores against the Ivory Coast and starts doing this, he can honestly... How are you captain of this club? The fact that he put his fingers in his ear after scoring against Albania, I think, how can you be captain of Manchester United if you think a goal against Albania makes up for you being shit for months and conceding 5 goals to Liverpool? You're having a laugh. Absolutely having a laugh, honestly. Who would be your dream Man United team, says Chris. Tchouameni would be my first signing at CDM. I do like Olise at Crystal Palace, but I haven't watched them enough. I do like Anthony at AJAX, but I haven't watched them enough to tell you. I've watched Tchouameni, however you say his name, play a few times. Fucking baller. So he'd be my first name. I do like Olise and I do like Anthony, but I haven't watched them enough to say which one I would want. Darwin Núñez, again, I like him, but I haven't seen him enough to confirm if he's who I want. The only player I 1,000,000% want is Tchouameni. I do like Frankie de Jong. I do like Ousmane Dembele, but he has an injury record. I do like Tariq Lamptey. But I would say Tchouameni, a young striker, a right winger, and a fast centre back is who I'd want, to be honest with you, as well. Good luck, Man United from Barca fan. Well, we're mudded, but I'm hoping we can get top 4. But I don't believe we'll get top 4. As I said, guys, I will be giving money away to viewers if Man United get top 4. So you know, it's a win. It's a win-win. No, it's a win-lose situation. We don't get top 4, I save money. If we do get top 4. On my top 4, let's say we get top 4 last game of the season, I think we play Crystal Palace last game of the season, I will be giving away money on that watch along. Just pure celebrations. I'll be giving away my whole month's earning on YouTube. So you better hope we get top 4. You know, we should pray. We'll get top 4 now because they want me to go broke. You know, probably. Someone said Ryan Gravenberch would be good. Don't know loads about him. I think he might be going to Bayern. 10 out to United is a confirmed news. No, it's not confirmed news. It's just rumours. Look. There's rumours about Ten Hag having a phone call. We know that Ten Hag is leaving Ajax. Apparently, Ten Hag's told the Ajax squad he's leaving, and apparently United have chosen Ten Hag to be the next manager, and apparently United and Ten Hag are in talks. These are all rumours. Ten Hag to United is not confirmed. I want to throw that out. Ten Hag to United is not confirmed. It's rumours. It's flyer tracking. It's like it was with Sancho a couple of weeks before him. It's like it was with Varane a couple of weeks before we go. It's just full on rumours. It's rumours at the moment. The minute the next manager is confirmed, I'll be live. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, do subscribe, because as soon as we know who the next manager is, I will be live. Gaz says we're on 212 likes, guys, so please do keep smashing that like button. It'd be really appreciated. Let's go for 250 likes. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Tchouameni, though, the CDM that I do like, he's been liking all these United posts. Tchouameni, proper flirting with United. He's liking all the United posts. Tchouameni's retweeting United wins on Twitter. Tchouameni's loves United as well, so... And what I do love about Tchouameni is whenever he posts on Twitter, it's United fans telling him to come to United. as well. We did talk about earlier Paul Mitchell, potential next director of football at Manchester United. I did do a video on Paul Mitchell yesterday, so everything you want to know on Paul Mitchell. He went from Milton Keynes to Southampton to Tottenham Hotspur to RB Leipzig to AS Monaco to hopefully United. There is a video all about him uploaded on the channel yesterday. I don't think Paul Mitchell will become director of football at Manchester United. It's too smart. Paul Mitchell to become director of football at Manchester United would be brilliant, but it is too smart for Manchester United as well. But basically, it's 99% confirmed that Ten Hag is leaving Ajax. Now, look, it's not 99% confirmed where Ten Hag's next destination would be, but it is 99% confirmed Ten Hag's leaving Ajax. Okay? There are reports that Ten Hag went to Manchester today. I don't believe that's Ten Hag in the photo. I generally don't believe it's Ten Hag in the photo. That is all reports as well. It has been said that Manchester United will choose their next manager this week. However, Sky Sports say that is not the case. However, I do prefer FABRIZIO Romano and David Ornstein to Sky Sports in terms of journalism. Newcastle United, guys, in other news, do want Dean Henderson. And Dean Henderson staying or leaving will depend on the next manager. Because of the way Ten Hag plays and De Gea not really being that mobile from his line, it has been reported that Ten Hag would maybe want Henderson and sell De Gea. And Marcus Rashford is open to leaving Manchester United in the summer and could be allowed to leave depending on the new manager. And if Ten Hag came to Manchester United, I think it was the Mirror, I will have to double check that said that he would probably bring Antony with him from Ajax as one of his first signings. Also, you know, what can Manchester United do what Barcelona have done and do a rebuild quick? The answer to that is no. We need new coaches. But if we do get Ten Hag, we will get one of his coaches, his assistant coach. And another story that's come out, and I'm going to talk about this in tomorrow's live stream, is Melissa Reddy said that Manchester United know and have a good idea where the leaks and briefings are coming from. They're easy to erase, the self-serving culture. United apparently are aware of who's doing the leaks and where the leaks are coming from. Gary Neville said he's also aware of it himself. I will do a video about apparently who the leaker is probably tomorrow. So do make sure you're subscribed for that. But I want to make this video solely about Ten Hag. I'm fed up of doing drama FC videos. I don't want to be talking about leaks. But in tomorrow's live stream, we will be talking about the two players that are rumoured to be United club leakers. So do subscribe for that video as well. Usman Talks United put out a really good tweet earlier, and he said, you know, there was a report that Man United had question marks over Ten Hag because they don't think Ten Hag could deal with the structure of the Man United. So Sky Sports said that United, the one thing that puts Man United off Ten Hag is, can Ten Hag deal with the structure of this board? And I think it was Usman Talks United that said, how about creating a structure that will actually allow managers to flourish at the club rather than having them one hand tied behind their backs? It's almost a decade since our last title. You're doing something wrong. And I thought it was a really good tweet because the only thing that United don't like about Ten Hag is that United don't believe Ten Hag can deal with the structure of how the club is run. And as I think it was Usman that said, United should change their structure for Ten Hag, and we should do a structure that will allow managers to flourish. We haven't won a title in 10 years, so clearly our structure isn't working. So why won't we change our structure? And I did read that and think that was spot on. I want to read some stories on Ralf Rangnick that's come out, guys. Who is the next director of football? Question Rangnick. Well, there's a rumour that someone from Liverpool could be coming to Man United, and then Paul Mitchell's rumoured to come to United. But as it stands, there's no confirmed next director of football, but United are looking at director of football. Hope I don't see Fletcher on the bench again, says Azam. I agree. And Daniel said, would you take DYBALA at Manchester United? Alice, personally, I wouldn't take DYBALA at Manchester United. I like DYBALA, but he's a player that will be coming here for the high wages. He's a player that hasn't been that good lately. He's 29. I think he would just be another flop. But a story that came out was from Sky Sports News. And this is a story that came out from Sky Sports News today, which has kind of pissed me off a bit. Sky Sports News said the notion Rangnick could operate as a loose version of a sporting director, helping John Murtough and Darren Fletcher knit a solid strategy behind the scenes, has been labelled hugely unlikely. Sky Sports also said that sources have hinted that Ralf Rangnick's role in all probability will be centred around sharing insights on innovation, scouting, and linking the club with bright football minds rather than fundamentally altering their setup. The Manchester United hierarchy took the decision to put strategic planning on hold in regards to the future of Rangnick's position to allow him to focus on trying to solve the season through coaching. So Sky Sports have said, so we know Ralf Rangnick is going on this consultancy role, blah, blah, blah. Sky Sports has said that that they're not letting Ralf Rangnick have any decisions now. Ralf Rangnick is only fully focused on coaching right now, and when the coaching is done, apparently Ralf Rangnick will not be working with Fletcher and Murtough in choosing, you know, the next steps forward for Manchester United, which is a disgrace. Because Ralf Rangnick is 100 times more qualified than Darren Fletcher. But yeah, we'll let Darren Fletcher have a say, but we're not going to let Ralf Rangnick have a say in the strategy behind United's future. Absolute joke if that's true. Sky Sports also said that, you know, Ralf Rangnick will not be allowed to alter the Man United setup. We know Ralf Rangnick is desperate on modernising Manchester United. We know Ralf Rangnick wants to transform how the club is run, how the board is run, and modernise it so we run similar to City and Liverpool. United aren't going to let Ralf Rangnick do that, according to Sky Sports, which is a disgrace. So Sky Sports have come out today and basically said, without saying these direct words, United will let Darren Fletcher make decisions, but they won't let Ralf Rangnick have a say in decisions. Cool. United won't let Ralf Rangnick change the structure of our board to be similar to City, Liverpool, and all successful clubs because United want to keep the structure of their board the same. United are worried about Ten Hag because he might not be able to deal with the structure of our board. So United, who's got the worst board in football, that hasn't won anything for 10 years, is now saying Rangnick can't change the structure of the board. Rangnick can't have a say. Darren Fletcher, who's not qualified, can have more of a say than Rangnick. And maybe we shouldn't get Ten Hag in case he can't deal with the structure of the board. It's not like the structure of this board club worked for the last 10 years, so why aren't we thinking about changing it? Why aren't we letting someone with a football mind like Ralf Rangnick change it? It's an absolute joke if this is true, an absolute joke. Rangnick will lead the club. He wasn't afraid to turn down Chelsea. And this is the thing, if Ralf Rangnick is not given power in the consultancy role, he'll tell us to fuck off, honestly. And look, I know I'm talking fast, to be fair. I know I'm talking fast. Rashford has forgotten how to kick a ball since Rebuild FC. I'm worried about Marcus Rashford. I've done videos on Marcus Rashford. I like Rashford. I'd give him another season, but he needs to sort himself out. I am worried about Marcus Rashford. But the thing I'm more worried about is the board. F the board. Guys, smash that like button if you agree that Manchester United boards need to F off. If you hate the United board, smash that like button because I bloody hate the United board. They run but absolute shambolically. We are run so shambolically. It's an absolute disgrace. So F Man United, smash that like button. And guys, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news updates, if you want to know all the latest on Pochettino, Ten Hag, Drama FC, make sure you're subscribed because I'm reporting rumours about Ten Hag, but when we officially know who the next manager is, I'll be live. So right now, I'm just talking Ten Hag this, Ten Hag that, talking rumours, talking what we know, talking about what the reliable journalists have said. And I would say right now, if I was going to put money on Ten Hag or Poch, I'd put my money that it is more likely to be Ten Hag. But it wouldn't surprise me if United went for Poch, so I wouldn't put money on Ten Hag coming. But I think Ten Hag seems the most likely to come. And it's all rumours at the moment. But the minute we know who the next manager is, I'll be live to update you guys. So do make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be live tomorrow night because there's some reports that's come out that United are revealing who the leakers are and who the problems are at United. So do subscribe for that. And then Wednesday night, we're going to talk about CONTRADICTING, how United could set up next season. If we do get any more updates on Ten Hag or Poch, whoever the next manager is, I also will do a video about how they'll line up next season. So let's say Man United get Ten Hag done this week and they confirm Ten Hag this week. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Ten Hag will be done this week. I don't think we'll confirm Ten Hag this week. I still think this time next week it will be. It's between Ten Hag and Poch stories because United is slow. But when we know who the next manager is, I'm going to do a video talking about how they'd line up next season. So if the next manager is Ten Hag, I'm going to show you how Ten Hag lines up, which is like a sort of a 4-2-3-1, but more of a 4-3-3, the type of players he likes and the type of signings he could make. And so, yeah, as well. Subscribe from Cape Town, says Kevin. Big up, Kevin, from subscribing from Cape Town. Guys, where are you guys watching? Where are you guys watching? Do comment down below where you are watching this video from. It'd be really interesting to see. And next coach has a job in his hands at Man United, says Steve. He does. The next coach is going to have a difficult job. Actually really interested to see where everybody is watching from. I mean, I would say I'm watching from England, but I'm actually not watching. Well, I am watching, but I'm actually saying. But I've got a couple stories before I end the show. Manchester United apparently are in talks with Barcelona's Ronaldo Aguero. Definitely didn't say his name right. However, I think he's just using us for a new contract. People watching from Mauritius, Tampa, Florida. Well, the Glazers are from there, so, you know, go deal with them. Someone's watching from Kenya, Bulgaria, France, Leicester, Hong Kong, Australia, India, Scotland. Man, we've got like a wide range of people watching. Northern Ireland. Uno's from Namibia. I've always wanted to go to Namibia, you know. It looks like a nice country. Apparently, Namibia is the best country to visit in Africa. It's apparently the safest and the nicest country in Africa, according to this thing I watched in Namibia. Interesting story there. Proper people from Kenya, Panama. I'd like to go to Panama. Norway. I mean, I'd like to go to a lot of countries, to be fair. Bangladesh. We've got people watching from all over. I'm always really intrigued to see where people watch, because United's so global that my fan base is global. Oldham, Trinidad, Cape Town, Canada, Uganda. It's mad, to be fair. It's mad, to be fair. There's such a wide range of viewers watching as well. But I want to quickly talk about some comments Gary Neville made. Egypt, India, Nigeria. Do you know what? Actually, I went to my analytics guys, and I thought I will get into the Gary Neville thing. I know I'm waffling. I know I'm waffling off topic, but according to my analytics, my most watched countries are actually, I think it's Indonesia, South Africa, India, United States, and United Kingdom. 30% of my viewers are from the UK, 7.5% from the United States, 7% from India, 3.6% from South Africa, and 3.5% from Indonesia. So we've got quite a big South African and Indonesian following, to be fair as well. Malaysia's quite big. Got people from Ireland, Kenya, Nigeria, Australia, and Canada making the top 10. So, United is so global. United is so global. But one of the last things I want to talk about in today's video is Gary Neville again speaking out about the Glazers. And I'm glad that Gary Neville is speaking out about the Glazers. I just want everyone to speak out about the Glazers. I want them gone. But Gary Neville said this, and I completely agree with Gary Neville. Gary Neville said, "We heard Joel Glazer say some time ago that he was going to engage with the fans. Flights are open, Joel. You can get to Manchester. Let's see you over here and talk to the fans properly." Gary Neville has called out Joel Glazer, because Joel Glazer has gone out and he said, "Yeah, we're sorry about the Super League. We're going to engage with the fans more. We're going to give the fans what they want." Joel Glazer, Tom Brady's been to Old Trafford more times than you. Yeah, you own Manchester United. You're fucking off to F1. Why don't you go to Manchester? Can I guarantee you'll be safe in Manchester, Joel Glazer? No. Do I care about your safety in Manchester? No. But if you want to win the fans back, you go and get Ten Hag, you go and get Paul Mitchell, you go and give Ralf Rangnick power, you completely change the structure of the board, you completely give them the freedom to spend and buy who they want, you back them for full 3 seasons, you change the coaching staff, you change the whole structure of the board, you get rid of the bankers, you bring in the footballing lines like Ralf Rangnick, you let Ralf Rangnick change the structure of this club and modernise this club, you start engaging with the fans, you start backing the manager every summer, we don't turn into PRFC, we don't turn into social media FC, we don't turn into Profits FC. That is how you'll win the fans back, Joel Glazer. Because people say we cannot win a trophy under the Glazers. We cannot be the team we're going to be under the Glazers. That's false. We can win league titles under the Glazers. We did under Sir Alex. The problem is the Glazers have changed the structure of the board to focus fully on profits. If the Glazers decide to change the structure of the board to focus on football, we can still win it under the Glazers. They just don't want to. They just don't want to. You know what? Joel, as Gas says, has no balls. We won't see Joel anywhere near Manchester, but if we do, I quite like a word with you, Joel. I quite like a word. Not that he's going to listen to me, a 21-year-old girl, talking about Manchester United in the bedroom, but I would quite like a word with Mr. Joel Glazer. You think Joe's listening? Joel won't be listening to me. You know what? I guarantee you, Joel Glazer's probably never even heard of the United stand, because he doesn't give a fuck about United. He knows nothing about United. He doesn't know the offside rule. Every Man United fan knows about the United stand as the biggest Manchester United YouTube channel. I guarantee you, Joel Glazer probably has no idea it exists. Generally, I think Joel Glazer has no idea that Sancho's a United player. Honestly, even though he probably doesn't even know. Like, I reckon Joel Glazer could name about 5 Man United players, couldn't name a Man United fan. I think he knows nothing about this club. I don't think he cares about this club. I think Joel Glazer probably hasn't watched a Man United game in the last 5 years. I don't think Joel Glazer's ever gone on YouTube and searched up Man United. I don't think he ever has. Because I don't think he cares about this club. That generally. Honestly, say something about the new manager. We don't know who the new manager will be, but more and more journalists are hinting that it will be most likely Ten Hag. Ten Hag is the favourite, followed by Poch closely behind. That is sort of the latest on the new manager. Personally, I like Poch, but I would much rather have Ten Hag. When Ten Hag's available, why go for Poch? And second of all, the United faithfuls tweeted today that Tuchel's instant impact at Chelsea and Xavi transforming Barcelona within a short period should remind Manchester United's board that having a good coach is the first step in any successful rebuild. And the United faithfuls that I believe tweeted this are absolutely spot on. Look at Tuchel, look at Xavi, let's get Ten Hag. Okay, Ten Hag is the closest to Tuchel and Xavi, and it shows that a good coach is vital. A good coach is vital, a good structure is vital, good players are vital, and a good direction is vital. And that's where we need to go. Unfortunately, we won't go Said Rose says go for Graham Potter. Personally, I would go for Ten Hag over Potter. And Joel Glazer only cares about money, says Amit, and that's absolutely facts. I can't stand Joel Glazer. I mean, do you know what? I prefer Joel Glazer to Abraham Glazer. Now, I don't like them both, but at least Joel says things. Abraham just sits there with his ratty face walking around. Joel sits there with his ratty face walking around, makes a comment here and then. I think Joel is slightly more likable than Abraham, but they're both meh. I think Malcolm Glazer was the worst, but he's dead now. Well, I think he's dead. That's sad, obviously, for them as well. But my last story, guys, before I wrap up the live stream and all of that, is basically James Garner. We're going to talk about James Garner. Did you guys watch Nottingham Forest Liverpool yesterday? I did. I thought Nottingham Forest were incredibly unlucky. I thought Nottingham Forest were the better team. And I was highly impressed with Nottingham Forest. But James Garner, I've seen him play against Leicester. I've seen him play against Arsenal. I've seen him play against Liverpool. I thought he was good in all three of those games. And I think, you know what? Our CDMs conceded 5 goals to Liverpool at home. James Garner conceded 1, and that wasn't even his fault. James Garner almost got an assist as well. I tell you this now, I wouldn't say James Garner is ready for Manchester United, but James Garner is ready for the Premier League. And I think with Matic retiring, we get Tchouameni in and we get James Garner as his backup. I would do that. I would keep James Garner next season as backup to Tchouameni. I definitely would. I think he's an absolute baller. I think he's better than McTominay as a CDM. Maybe not a box, but as a CDM, you know, and I think he's did a good job. I was really, really impressed with James Garner. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Cass says that Malcolm was a weirdo. He was a weirdo, wasn't he? I mean, I knew nothing about him. He just kind of looked a bit weird, didn't he? And people say, Alice, don't disrespect the Glazers. Well, they've disrespected my club, so I can disrespect them. Hi, Alice. Keep up the good work, says Paul. Thank you very much, Paul. It means a lot. And Dean says, yes, no doubt, Alice, she knows football. Switch from the dark side. You never walk alone. There's no way I'm switching to Liverpool. Look, people joke United fans are glory hunters. Any United fan that still supports United after the shit we've been through from the last 10 years ain't a glory hunter. I tell you that now, because it's not been nice. But you never see me supporting Liverpool. If I was going to change from United, it wouldn't be anyone in the Premier League. Probably wouldn't be anyone in England. Maybe my local town. Maybe Cambridge United at most. But no, I'd never stop supporting United. Guys, what I do want you to do, random thing actually, is I'm in this uni competition, and apparently we're allowed to plug ourselves online, and it's like this competition at uni where you have like a business idea and then you put it online, and whoever gets the most votes actually wins. And there's a link in my bio, link in the description. It'd be like second line down in the description. If you click that link in the description, yeah, and you click the like button and vote, you can play the video if you want. You actually basically you vote me in this uni competition, and apparently we can plug it online. So I thought, well, I want some more votes. Might as well put it on the YouTube. So I'm just going to put that in the chat. But it'd be really appreciated if I can just get 10, 20, 30 votes. Just click on that link. You don't have to watch the video if you want, but just click on that link and then click the like button. If you click on that link, it takes you to the video. Then you click the like button and you can vote me in this uni competition. It's just me with this like business idea competition at uni. And I just thought I might as well plug it, see if I can get some votes. So please do click that link and vote for Alice in this big pitch competition. It will take 10 seconds to vote. You click the link, you click the like button. You can watch the video if you want. Personally, I wouldn't. But it would be brilliant if you could vote for me. And of course, please do smash that like button if you have not already. Of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Share this video and all of that. But I am going to wrap up today's live stream, guys. I think it's been a very, very good live stream today. But I am about to wrap up the live stream. I want to just continue with the final talking points of today's live stream. If you joined the live stream late and you're like, what we've been talking about, Alice, what have I missed? Basically, the talking points are Romano and The Athletic are hinting that Ralf Rangnick will be choosing the next manager, and the next manager could be chosen in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. A lot of journalists are hinting that Ten Hag is the favourite. However, Sky Sports are hinting that Ralf Rangnick's not going to have a say and actually Poch is the favourite. We know it's still a race between Poch and Ten Hag, with Ten Hag edging it. We know that United want to get the deal done quick. And there's obviously reports that Ten Hag's been seen in Manchester. I don't think Ten Hag's been seen in Manchester. I know there's flight tracking about Ten Hag to Manchester and all of that. But I wouldn't be too fussed about that. Dean Henderson may be leaving to Newcastle in the summer. Tchouameni flirting with Manchester United. Tchouameni liking all the Manchester United posts on Twitter in the past. Ralf Rangnick's consultancy role. Obviously, yesterday's video was on Paul Mitchell to become Manchester United's next director of football. And then a report came out today by the Daily Mail that said that former Liverpool coach Andy O'Boyle has emerged as a contender for the role of Manchester United Deputy Director of Football role. United want to appoint someone to assist John Murtough. O'Boyle is currently head of elite performance with Premier League. So Andy O'Boyle could be coming into work with Murtough. Personally, I'd rather have Paul Mitchell. I think he's better at his job and he's friends with Rangnick. But United don't go for the best option. United go for the best business option, not the best football option. The best football option is Paul Mitchell, Ten Hag's assistant and Rangnick working together. The best business option is Pochettino, Andy O'Boyle, and letting Darren Fletcher do the work. Because United would rather Darren Fletcher do the work than Ralf Rangnick. Absolute joke. But yes, everybody, big up everybody who tuned into today's live stream. Please, guys, if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do subscribe down below if you want to. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. I will be live tomorrow night and I will be live Wednesday night with all the latest Manchester United news. If any stories break on Ten Hag, Pochettino, the next manager, Rangnick, I will be live. So as soon as I know who the next manager is, I will be live to update you guys. I will be live to update you guys with all the rumours, news, updates and more. As it stands, Ten Hag is leading the race to be next manager, but Pochettino is not out of that race as well. Smash that like button if you have not already. And again, before you leave the live stream, please do feel free to click on this link here. The link is obviously in the chat, but there's also a link in the description. And all you got to do is click on that link, and then there'll be a video under the video will be a like button. Click that like button, and you can vote for me in this uni competition. Might as well plug myself on YouTube. Don't know if you can click it in any country in the world, but if you're in England, please do that. Thank you for watching. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Back tomorrow night live. See you then. Bye.